Make your left foot parallel to the short end of the mat. Turn your right foot forward. Make sure that you're lined up heel to arch. Now bend your right knee to a square and place your elbow on. The knee should be directly over the ankle. Inhale as you move your right ribs back, tucking your chin, bowing for just a moment. And then keeping that fullness of the back body root down into the legs. Inhale, spread your toes, tone your legs, and draw your shins in toward the midline. Feel how your inner thighs tone. Use that, move the left adductor back, and then begin to widen the sitting bone, the hamstrings. Exhale, draw your right hip back, scoop your tailbone, and feel the broadening of the pelvis. Begin to turn your belly and chest to the sky. Left ribs move back even more as the right ribs come into the twist. Now slide your ears back, your left shoulder back, and stretch your left arm alongside your cheek. Notice if the shoulder blade came off the back during that transition, it probably did because we changed planes of the arms. So you turn your pinky finger toward the floor, suck your armpit back, and then inhale from the fingers, from the feet. Everything draws into the pelvis, and then exhale, explode out in all directions from there. Explode. Inhale in, come on. Turn your left foot to the back of the mat, front of the mat, right foot parallel. Bend your knee, place your left elbow on it. Inhale, move into the back body first, into this sense of support. And then exhale and root down into the feet. Keeping the legs strong, find your midline. Take your right thigh back without hyperextending, so keep some shins forward. Then scoop the tailbone. Begin turning the belly and the chest to the sky. Right shoulder back, ears back, chin open. Stretch your right arm alongside your ear. Inhale from the feet, plug into the pelvis, and then exhale, unfold petals of beauty in all directions. Inhale, and come on. Step forward to the top of the mat. Step your right leg back, keeping your left leg forward. Bend your left knee to a square, Parivrtta Parsvakonasana. Reach up with your right arm. Bend your left knee to a square. Ribs back, like the ribs have to go back so much, and then you do like this massive outer spiral, sorry, I'm on the wrong side, of the arm to hook deeply. You see that? The palm is up. The shoulder blade is momentarily off the back. Get the shoulder to the knee. Then, inner spiral, turn the palms down to the floor. Move your left shoulder back. Keep hugging your midline. Scoop your tailbone to twist. And then stretch your left arm alongside your cheek. All of these poses are intended to make us stronger and more clear in what we have to offer. Inhale as you come out of the flow. Step your right foot forward. Step your left foot back. So left foot off the floor is optional. Heel on the floor is very deep. Left arm up, ribs back. Now think big outer spiral of the upper arm and hook the shoulder all the way to the outside of the right knee. Pull your ribs back out of the way to get in deep. Good. Now, inner spiral the forearm, bring the thumb to the floor with the palm facing your leg. Inhale, back leg strong. Lots of work in the back leg. Now pull into the midline. Draw your outer right hip back. Scoop your tailbone and turn the belly, the right shoulder. Keep rooting down through the legs as you stretch your right arm alongside your ear. Full stretch. Inhale, pull in. Exhale, root down to rise up through the twist. And release. Step back into downward facing dog. You know, when people look at us in a superficial way, maybe even admire you for being a yogi, they don't see what's behind it. They don't see necessarily the kind of work and transformation that you've put into. They don't see the roots under the water and in the mud. For every little breakthrough that we've ever had, I guarantee there's a tangled mass of roots called determination, faith, tenacity, right? Just to look great. That's not the whole of it, I suppose. Inhale, come forward into plank. But you know what I'm saying? There's a lot driving each one of us. There's a lot behind us. Slowly lower down. Squeeze your hands into the floor. Inhale, lift up, Bhujangasana. But you know what? There's so much more ahead of us too. And that's what we're cultivating today. It's like, what do you want to offer? What's the jewel in the lotus? Exhale, downward facing dog. Step your right foot forward, drop your left heel to the mat. Trikonasana. Stretch your left arm up, just with this sense of adorning the moment with your brilliance. Every pose is an offering. Strong legs, pulling into the core, and then exhale, rooting back down as if this level of the hips were the water, and you push down to open up the arms. Inhale, come up by rooting down into the back foot, and turn your left toes to the back of the room, right foot parallel to the top of the mat. Second side, placing your hand to the outside of the leg. Root down to your feet. Inhale, make your legs stronger, cultivating the strength and the beauty of your intentions. And then exhale, root down one more time to make that offering through the hands. Inhale, and come up. Exhale, step back to the top of the mat. And step your right foot back. Parshvottanasana. What a great teacher this pose is. I believe we have it in all three sequences. Square your hips toward the top of the mat and fold forward. Keeping the front leg straight just embodies a real sense of clarity in what we're here to really do. Keeping the feet rooted, hug the shins in. That's part of muscular energy, part of intention, and it leads to the opening aspects of the inner spiral. Take the thighs back and wide. Inner spiral actually starts in the big toe mound, remember? Push that down. Take the inseam of the leg back, widen the back of the hamstrings, even widen all the way up to T12. Now exhale and draw the left hip back. This is part of outer spiral. Tone the outer hip flexors, pulling back into the sacrum and the tailbone. Now root from the tailbone, spinning back down the leg into the feet. From that, extend the pelvis to the floor and stretch the spine through the crown of the head, down through the arms. Exhale as you step your right foot forward. And we'll switch this out, left leg back. It's time for a pop quiz. What are the similarities and the differences between outer spiral and organic energy? This was on the homework, right? Did anyone come up with any ideas? What is it? Well, they both root down. They both go down, but one of them doesn't really rise up. Which is that? Right. So one of the major ways we think of organic energy is rooting to rise, right? Obviously, outer spiral is spiraling in its nature, whereas organic energy moves more linear from the periphery to the core and back. Also has an expanding and shining quality. You're just going to have to hold this until we get more ideas. All right, step forward. What else is there, Cindy?
What was the question?
Similarities and differences between inner and outer spiral.
No, outer spiral.
And organic.
Bigger flow, you know, and that covers a larger space of your body, I guess, is another way to think about it.
And it's a primary action, whereas the other, for outer spiral, is more of a refining part of the principles. Step back into downward facing dog. The way we practice asana, like on the one hand, we look at it from the outside, we study the biomechanics. We look at the form and try to figure like what would it take to get into that? Questions like the ones we just had. But the whole other side of that is that it's an expression from the inside out, an expression of your inner beauty, your intention permeating out from the focal points. Inhale and lift your right leg into three-legged dog. And exhale, bring the shin into pigeon. Keep your front foot active, extending through the ball of the foot so that we're not sickling the feet. Then curl the toes under on the back leg, hug the shins in. You can even lift the knee off the floor and find that inner spiraling action, thighs up and wide to steer the hips more square. Keeping that, move the right rib back, draw the outer right hip back, and sweep the buttock flesh down. Lengthen the tailbone down, and even pull it in so the front belly lifts and spreads up out of the pose. Okay. Walk your hands forward. And rest your forehead on the floor.